Hello everybody and welcome back. Today is going to be the final lesson for orthographic projection AutoCAD drawings, and we're going to be taking a look at the guide key. So I'm going to be clicking into orthographic drawing problems. We're going to be taking a look at this right here. It's fairly straightforward. The only thing that is difficult about this drawing is this angular surface and being able to show these angular surfaces properly on the top view. And we're also going to have to draw a line on a polar angle as well to be able to complete this drawing right here on an angle of 60 degrees. So we're going to get started. I'm going to be clicking back and clicking on guide key and downloading it. We're going to open this up. I already have AutoCAD running, and I'm going to be saving it to my folder, as you see me do many times previously. My AutoCAD drawings guide key. I'm just going to take that one out because I've downloaded it before, and I'm going to hit save. Alright, so now I'm ready to get started. I am going to start, I believe, with the front view. So ortho is already running. I'm going to go and get line from the draw tools. Zoom in with my wheel, find my endpoint, snap at my usual starting location, left click, pan away, out so I can see more clearly, key in my height, which is listed as 51.5. Move my mouse horizontally, key in 13, come down vertically. The depth of that slot is also listed as 13, and traveling horizontally to the right is 29. O-track, this should be 13. Coming over horizontally again, 13, and I'm going to be coming down. Now, it doesn't tell me how much I need to come down. So I have to do a little bit of basic math here. So we're going to take a quick look at this image again. So this is where I'm at. I'm coming down this distance, but it doesn't tell me. I do know that the total height of the square block or cube block is 51.5. I do know that the distance from the bottom to the top of the smaller one is 32. So common sense tells me I need to subtract 32 from this number, 51.5, and that is going to tell me what I need to do to input that line length. So 51.5 minus 32, you can put that in a calculator. It should come out to 19.5. All right, so we're going to type 19.5, enter. Now we're going to keep going, traveling horizontally. It doesn't tell me the distance from here to here, but obviously, you know, I can subtract these two numbers from 54, and that should leave me with 15. It should be identical to what we're seeing here. So it should be 15. Key that in. Coming down, 9.8 is the depth of the slot. Coming over horizontally, 24. Coming up, O-tracking, 9.8 again, 9.8 again, and then horizontally, 15. And I'll come down O-track again to here. That's going to show me 32, which is what I want. Left click, and then I'm also going to hit C, enter to close. Now this view is not totally complete. I still need to extend this line down to the bottom because this block is not it's not set the same distance. This one is set a little further back, as you can see. So I need to show this line right here. So I can just select this line and come down and grip this to perpendicular. And then you can hit escape to deselect. Okay, so that is how that looks from the front view. Now we're ready to start working on our top view. So we're going to grab our line again, zoom in to our usual starting point on the origin. We know that it tells us that the width of the larger block is 57, so we'll key that in. And I'm inclined now to draw a line the entire length of the guide key. Now I don't need to add all these numbers up, right? I don't need to add this number, and all these up, because what can I do? You guessed it, O-track. 109, very, very simple. Again, I keep proving that O-tracks are a useful tool. And I'm going to be coming vertically this way, 47.5 as the drawing states. And I'm going to be coming back. This should be 54. I can O-track that, 54. I can now O-track this endpoint, come down to here, and then back, C, enter. And now I can show all my details with offsets. Right? I can also extend this line all the way back to perpendicular, not midpoint. I wish I could hit escape. All right, offset. Offset value is 13. So type that in, hit enter. Select this line, click to the right. Select this line, click to the left. And that takes care of that part of the top view completed. There's more to do on the right side of the top view here. So I need to do some more offsets. I can offset now, select this again, type 15, enter. Offset this line over 15. Right click, left click, enter to end the command. And I can also repeat the offset and now type in 24. And I should naturally get 15 here, like I predicted earlier, right? So I actually didn't need to input an offset for 24. I could have just offset this line over 15 as well, but then I would have had to trimmed it or gripped it. So it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Now this top view is not complete. To some it may look complete, but we still have some more work to do to this, because this slot will not pass all the way through from the back to the front. Neither will this top surface that connects with an angular surface, right? If we look at this, there's a surface that comes up on an angle, right? So the way I have this shown right now looks like this, the left side, right? And this view comes up completely vertical and straight. This is not the case on the right side view. So we're going to be, or not the right side view, but the right side of the top view, right? So we're going to be fixing this up. Okay, so we're going to start on the right side view now. We're going to grab our line, zoom in to this endpoint, and I'm going to come up, O-track this, which is going to give me 51.5. Draw to the right horizontally 57. Down, O track again, 51.5, and then C, enter to close. Now, we're going to have to show the depth of this slot in hidden detail, which is this one right here. So we know that that depth is 13 if I measure it. It also says that on the drawing. So I'll do an offset, type in 13, offset this line down, and select it and throw it on the hidden layer, like that. All right, so now we need to show this surface in 2D perspective on the right side view. It's 47.5 wide by 32 millimeters high, and also includes an angle of 60 degrees. So what we can do is I can offset a line that is 47.5, and I can also offset a line that's 32 millimeters horizontally from the bottom. So we'll right click, left click, repeat offset, type in 32, and now we have something that we can work with. All right, so what we're going to do is draw a line on the correct angle. So we're going to go to polar mode, and we're going to make sure that we are on this group right here, 30, 60, 90, 120. We're going to grab our line, we're going to go to this endpoint, and we're going to draw a line up on 60 degrees until we get to the polar intersection, which is right here. I'm going to zoom in on this. We don't want to hit the midpoint, right? The midpoint gives us 59 degrees. We want to come over to the intersection. So there's too many things snapping here, right? So you got to be very careful. You can either turn the midpoint snap off, or be sure that you're on the X, which is the intersection, right? If you wanted to turn that snap off, you could right click, object snap settings, and then left click object snap settings, and then uncheck midpoint and hit OK. And then we can't pick up the midpoint anymore. And then we're going to left click, and then now we have the correct angle. And then I can erase this line here, and I can also trim or grip this line back, but I'll trim it today. So I'll use a trim, select it, select my boundary with a left click, right click my mouse to activate the trim command, and left click what I want to trim away. Just like that. Next up, I have to show the hidden line that represents the depth of this slot, which is going to be somewhere around here. As I recall, this was 9.8. Yes, and that's what it says on our drawing. So we're going to offset 9.8 and offset down. As you can see, this doesn't want to reach. This has to reach all the way to here, to this angular line. So we'll just grip it over and go to the intersection, and then select it, and then go on the hidden layer. All right. So that right side view should be complete now. That's exactly how it should look. The distance that we're measuring from here to here, we get 9.5. We should also get that here as well. Yes, we do. So everything looks good. So the only thing we have to do is fix up this top view, the right side of this top view. So how are we going to do it? Because it doesn't tell us how long the slot is from the back to the front at all, anywhere on here. And it doesn't tell us the length of the top surface here and here from the back to the front. So we can't guess at it. That's not very accurate or preferred. So there is a way to do it. We have to use an existing view to help us. And the only view that we have completed that we can use that can help us is the right side view. You've seen me use this command a few times in previous lessons. It's under Utilities. It's called Measure. So left click, and I'm going to measure the length of this hidden line right here. I'm going to go endpoint to endpoint. And it measures at 34.6828. Now, this is not a number we would have been able to guess. It would have been impossible. We actually have to measure the right side view to be able to determine our offset for the top view. So we know now that the length of that slot is 34.6828. And I just finally left-clicked my mouse to finish the measuring command, and here it is right here on X. It's called minus 34.6828. We don't need to worry about the minus. We just have to worry about that number. So we're going to come up here. We're going to offset. And we're going to type that number in. 34.6828. Hit enter. And offset from the back to the front. Like that. So now we know that we can trim. These are the boundaries of the slot. Right click, left click what we want to trim. Right click, left click, enter to end. Now we have to do another trim. We have to trim back these lines or use a grip. Why don't we use a grip? We'll select this line and we're going to pull it back to these two endpoints right here. So now we have the length of the slot identified proper. Are we finished? Not yet, because we still now need to measure the distance from here to here. So we're going to use the same method that we just practiced, except now we're going to go to Utilities, grab Measure again. We're going to go to this endpoint, left click to this endpoint. And it tells us 29.0248. Let's left click to finish. There's our number and distance, 29.0248. We're going to go back up to the top, grab another offset, this time 29.0248. Am I remembering that correctly? Let me check it again. 29.0248. Yeah. So I already remembers the last time I inputted it, so I can just hit enter. Select this line, click forward or down, and then trim what we don't need. I need to trim this line beyond this vertical line, so we'll hit the trim, left click my boundary, right click, and then left click what I want to trim away. And then lastly, right click, left click, repeat trim. I can't grip this, I must trim this inside line. These two vertical lines are my boundaries, right click, and then left click the line that I want to erase. And that is the top view completed. So that is how that should look proper. What you're seeing from this horizontal line and this horizontal line and beyond the slot down is the perspective of that angular surface that we have no perspective on for our front view, and we see that angular line right here. Right? This is what we are looking at. So when I measure it, it gives me a distance from here to here at 18.4752. And I get the same number above on my top view. So everything has been done correctly, and everything orthographically makes sense. We only have 2 hidden lines on this drawing, which is the only 2 things are hidden from our view when we look at it from the right, which is the depth of these 2 slots. So before I end this video, I'm going to be hitting save again. And that's going to be it for today. So this concludes our orthographic drawing tutorial series for being able to read and understand the 3-dimensional object, and then being able to actually draw these views out orthographically and make proper sense. So I'm going to leave the video off here. Try this out. Let me know if you need any help. Good luck, and I will talk to you soon.